So I feel like I'm actually experiencing what can only be described as a mind simp moment. So I was just minding my own business, wandering the internet, thinking about the next video I was gonna make, something philosophical to add depth to my channel, and I encounter this channel that does like politics, philosophy sort of thing, and it's a faceless channel run by a gal. I swear, this is not clickbait. I start watching the videos. I start doing all this, all that, looking through the posts, reading the comments. There's a lot of very interesting discussions. But she had just what I can only describe as a very attractive brain. And I said so. I said, "You have an attractive brain," respectfully. And I know that's weird. I know that's weird. But this is like a new feeling, a new thought that I had. This experience is unique because how often can you say that you are simping over someone intellectually? When was the last time you thought, oh, that person's mind is attractive? And it's so confounding because I don't know whether it's the ideas that are attractive and compelling or if it's the fact that it's a feminine voice that's saying these intellectual things. Not that women can't be intellectual or philosophical or anything like that. So I'm just thinking to myself, what is going on? I'm getting like overwhelmed a little bit, not in a weird way. Am I engaging? Are these ideas mentally stimulating, or am I just a weirdo? And one of the videos addresses that too. And I commented, but right before I got to the end, and it's like reading my mind. I think maybe I'm online too much because I never thought that I would encounter anyone who would just like what? So it's just this feeling of like you're like her thoughts are just so well put together, and there's like a level of thoroughness that I've never seen from anyone, and is that because it's a girl, or and I'm too online and I'm a lonely loser, or is it because I've actually stumbled upon someone who is a rare mind in a sea of dullness? So I'm just a little bit baffled. I'm a little bit astounded. Is it inappropriate to note how unusual this is? Is it sexist to say that this is surprising? Because I mean, it's not surprising that it's a woman. It's just when you encounter someone of the opposite sex or whatever, if you're attracted to someone of the opposite sex, and they speak in a way that you haven't heard anyone speak before. Is it wrong to point that out? This is just so weird. But like, I just felt myself like getting kind of sucked into like the ideas, and I read the script, the transcript, the words and everything without the voice, and it was equally compelling. So I don't even think it's like the influence of the voice. So I feel like I'm actually experiencing what can only be described as a mind simp moment. If you've listened to this point, comment, like, let me know if this is something that you've experienced, because I have never heard anyone talk about this before. Seriously, just finding someone whose, like, ideas and the way that they think and the way that they put their ideas together and their reasoning and their responses to other people's replies and their criticism, it's just so compelling. I feel like a weirdo for saying so. I feel like a weirdo for pointing it out, or even like talking about this, or even that I commented. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know that you could like hear someone's ideas and be like, oh my God. Cause I'm used to the internet being all about what people look like, and there are attractive voices, but I've never thought that is an attractive mind. Those are ideas that are coming from someone who I could potentially be attracted to. And somehow that transfers to the ideas being attractive. Cause if it was a guy, I wouldn't be, mind simping. It wouldn't be the same. It would just be normal. Not normal, but is it sexist? I don't know if it's sexist. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to watch more women content creators now that I've started this new channel and stuff, because I didn't growing up, and I'm trying to get more perspectives. And that's how I ended up here. And I look up one Nietzsche book, Beyond Good and Evil. And then all of a sudden I get recommended this channel and I listen to it, and it's also a faceless channel, like me. And it has really good reasoning. It just feels incredibly intelligent. And I just cannot tell whether or not I think it's intelligent because it's a feminine voice saying intelligent things, and I'm just too wrapped up in guy content that I've never actually heard a lady say things philosophical and political before in a way that was super compelling. So I have no idea whether or not there's something wrong with me or not. I just get this feeling, and you can use this against me later, but I just get this weird feeling when I hear the way the words are put together and the thoroughness, and just makes me reflect upon my own messiness. But the fact that I can understand makes me feel like we may have two different kinds of ways of putting together ideas, but in some form or fashion we're on the same wavelength, fundamentally. And I don't want to be weird and say that, oh, it's fate or whatever, or oh, insert creepy comment or perspective. But it's just more I'm baffled. Is it weird that I feel this way? I'm not gonna stalk her or anything, and I'm not gonna be weird about it. But I just feel like I have no idea. What do you even look up for this phenomena? Have you ever had that happen? Have you ever had that happen to you? I found myself actually starting to get my mind started to get rolling again. My mind started actually acting and moving in a way it hasn't in a while. I haven't been mentally stimulated in a very long time, and it sounds really dirty in the context of this video. However, it's not. Stimulated has been screwed. That word is just, you just can't use the word stimulate these days. It's just not acceptable. It's just not good. I keep gushing. I don't know how to deliver a point here. I hope someone steals this video idea because the title and thumbnail are really compelling, and then they make a better video than me so that I can watch it and I can read the comments, and I get to understand what people think about this if they don't watch my video, because that's really what I care about right now. You remove the fact that this is a girl, and you just look at the text. You can't discern whether it's from a lady or a dude or whatever, but in the context of it being from a gal, that somehow makes the ideas attractive. It just feels so wrong to say that. And I want to emphasize this again. I don't mean to say women don't say anything intelligent or intelligible. I just haven't been in spaces, which I'm trying to correct. I haven't been in spaces where I really get that. And so as a dude, I'm just finding myself a little bit mystified. And I don't entirely agree with everything that's being said, but for the most part, I feel like there's a coherent, ambitious strategy and thought process behind it and behind everything that makes me think of a version of myself that's better. It's just so weird. I don't what, and I feel so weird making a video about this. Can someone please do something with this idea and help me not feel like I'm alone in this? Somehow, some way, indicate to me through the algorithm or through whatever. I'll make sure to pray to YouTube tonight, because I just need to know if anyone else has experienced this. It really has me worked up, because I feel like a starstruck teenager. It's like Love at First Sight, except the exact opposite, because I actually watched all the videos and read all the posts and stuff. And I engaged with it intellectually and honestly, and I was thorough in my analysis. And I've still come out to this position that just feels so weird. Am I really a loser? Am I a loser? Is that what this is? Is this me realizing that I'm actually a loser, and that all it takes is a feminine voice saying something vaguely smart to get my mind in a tizzy or whatever? I just find this person's mind so fascinating. I mean, if I was into dudes, I feel like I would get this kind of feeling. I would have gotten this feeling before, because I used to watch guys who talked about philosophy and politics. I wonder if I would have thought the same way about them. Oh my God, his brain is just so hot or whatever. You can clip that, by the way. Is it cringe to be attracted to someone's ideas, their words? You know, I've never met this person before, but I mean, people are attracted to people based on their appearance all the time, and people get clowned on for that. But is it equally bad if it's over ideas? There's just too much going on here. My brain is just. And like a large part of this is that I feel like I should do some self-reflection and introspection. I should think about this and, you know, try to figure out what went wrong in my life to where this is what I'm thinking. But then again, what if there's nothing wrong with this and this is actually a positive thing? It's just, it would have been better if it was in real life instead of this facade of reality that is the internet. What does one even do in a position like this? As a faceless channel myself, it's just especially compelling because it seems that they have just as competent a reason to remain faceless as I do, but their structure is so much better to their ideas and their thoughts, and their delivery is just so much more structured that it actually just so attractive. I don't know, man. The way that you worded that, the way that you phrased that, it's just terminally online enough to where I don't feel like I'm listening to an academic lecture, but it's also eloquent enough to where I don't feel like I'm just listening to the ramblings of someone who spends way too much time online. It's just so weird. I don't know, man. Thank you for 48 subs. I'm bypassing a video that I was gonna release before this one so that I can release this one. Anyway, that's my video. So, you know, thank you for whatever, all that.